Okay, guys, thanks for joining. We're gonna start over here. Okay, so thanks for joining, everybody. Win with Sellers session, the fourth meeting. We're gonna cover today two chapters, chapters 7 and 8, which I'm very excited to have for this kind of like, closing session. Both Alyson Silverman and Roger Horn, two, phenomenal, experienced, savvy producers out of the Calabasas office. Each one have their own, their own set of expertise and way to do business. So I'm once again excited about that kind of conversation ahead to kind of get some insight from them about how they do and what they're doing, whatever they want to share. And kind of like in a nutshell, Roger and Alyson, what they're going to cover. And I'm going to ask you a few questions or whatever. And you guys, the agents on the call, feel free as well if you want to type in your questions, if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question. And we're going to cover a couple of things, pretty much things around the post-close, right? Like you sold the property. How do you build clients for life? How do you follow up with clients, right? How do you build those touch campaigns, referral network, right? There's a lot of those, moving pieces. So we'd love to get from you, because at the end of the day, right? This business is all about how to capture business. And then the majority of the business, if you run it properly, as we heard throughout this whole session, is the transaction to close, how we call it, is mostly leverage, right? If you're a solo agent, if you're a team. But the part of maintaining clients for life, that's pretty much the heavy lifting over there, because that's what will carry that repeat business or what have you, in the book of business, as we call that, right? So with that, Roger Horn, Alyson Silverman, let's have you start, your pitch. And if you don't mind, start with you, Alyson. Just kind of, background for a second about yourself and your elevator pitch.
My elevator pitch. I love working with sellers. I also love handing a first-time home buyer a key. That's kind of a high. And I love my neighborhood. And I'm not sure what else you want to know. I work with REO as well. Those are long-term relationships. There's not much post-close I can do with an REO, but I do have a system for buyers and sellers. So.
And how long you've been in the game?
Since 2006.
Oh, 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. All
yes.
right. Thank you, Alyson. Roger.
Yes. Hi there. So I've been doing a little bit longer, since 1986. So, and I think in that time I've gone through different stages of, maturity. So in the beginning, I think I was really more of a transactional mindset, where I just wanted to do transactions, kind of burning through transactions, where later it became much more of a relational type of business for me. And what I mean by that is just, and I was thinking about, like, after the sale, to keep in touch with people. And really the most important thing is to create a referable experience while you're in the sale. So, if you're just not doing everything you can possibly do to please your client, then you're going to be embarrassed to call them after the sale. And I've had that experience where I got angry, or I was frustrated, and and then the relationship fell away. And, I learned, like, if I become the problem solver and never take anything personally, even, they're going through their thing, and have empathy, then I'll, be able to carry on that relationship in a much better way. And they're far more likely to refer me. And I'm not embarrassed to call them because, you know, I didn't lie to them. I did what I said I was going to do. I showed up on time. I did all the things that we know we should do, but sometimes don't do. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. That was the juice, right, of the conversation. So, and feel free, by the way, to complement one another with questions, as it's just jump, whatever. So make it like a more of a dynamic, you know, like just us talking type of meeting. And thanks everybody who people are still joining on the call. Thank you so much. Post-closing system, right? You're Alyson, you love giving keys. Roger, you know, done deal. You close, you know, thinking about like, you know, picking the sign from the yard or what have you, right? And by the way, it's more geared, not necessarily just for sellers, right? But sellers better, but the mindset is about the seller side, right? So you close, it closed, it's funded, it recorded, bam, everything's official. What going in your head next?
How do I get referrals? That's what's going on in my head. So everything I do from the time it closes is how to get referrals. How do I stay on top of their mind? But yes, Roger is correct. If you mess up during escrow, you're not going to want to call that person on their birthday or a year into their anniversary, you know. So you have to, and mostly what people want in escrow is they just want to be heard and want to know that you're there and touch base with them at least once a week and give them updates. They can usually handle bad news. Surprises, not so much. So you just, you know, even if you're calling to give them bad news, or if you're calling to say nothing, I have nothing to report, you need to stay on top so that you do feel comfortable to call them on their birthday and wish them happy birthday, or, you know, a year in after, and buyers become sellers. I have sellers right now that I sold to that are buying again and selling. So, you know, you do want that referral business. How sad is that? If someone you sold their home to lists with somebody else. So that's the goal. So, you know, I want to stay on top of mine. So when I give a gift, it has to have a return on investment for me. So it has to be something that they see every day or that they use. So, and I also, 90% of the time, because there's that one agent that you really never want to be in escrow with again. But 95% of the time I send a thank you card to the other agent for, you know, working together and a smooth escrow, and so that my future clients will benefit from that, so that we can, you know, that person will want to be in escrow with me. Because again, like Roger said, everything's about relationships, especially your reputation. So do you want me to keep going, or do you want to go to Roger? Because I did a whole list.
No, awesome. And we're going to bounce back and forth.
Okay.
So that was good stuff. Roger, same question for you.
Yeah, so I'm part of an organization called By Referral Only, and I've been doing that for at least 6 years now. And almost everything I do comes from them. And I really believe in their philosophy. It is by referral only. So it's all about nurturing your database, contacting them, and they have systems. It's done for you, completely done for you systems that there's 2 mailers per month, there's email touches, and they're all things to encourage connection. It's not like real estate. It's not like market data. It's like, for example, each month there's a Fun Day Monday contest, and you send a $25 Amazon gift card. And it's a dumb little question, but you know, people answer it, then you can kind of have a little communication. It's things like that spark conversation. So yeah, top of mind, you want to send your postcard and stuff, but really it's much more than that, because I don't know about you, but at my house, I get a lot of postcards. So it's, you know, I need to be in relationship with people. So they're ignoring all the other postcards. And that's what it does. So there's a great monthly postcard that they send, which is not real estate related. They come up with these stories that that they tell that everybody always appreciates. And then there's a monthly newsletter that they do that's also kind of folksy. And actually, the first time I sent it out, because it's done on a yellow paper, and frankly, it's not the way I would necessarily do it. And I sent it the first time, and then I wasn't going to send it again, but 5 people called me up and said they liked it. So I've sent it ever since. So, I mean, it's just because it's like little articles that, you know, people read. So anyway, if you're interested in by referral only, you can go to www.brosystemtour. So it's BROSYSTEMTOUR.com. And all the information is there. And I mean, there is so much available from mindset. And all the other thing that they do is it's called magic words. And it's, you know, yeah, how do we get referrals? You know, there's language involved in that. And they have all these scripts, and it's called seed planting. So it's not like, who do you know? It's a way different way in a way more comfortable way of planting a referral seed. And if you learn those things, it just becomes comfortable and much easier than just like, who do you know that's thinking about selling? It's not like that at all. It's very comfortable language.
Yeah, awesome. Roger, question, can you just repeat again the URL?
Yes, it's www.brosystemtour.com. So it's BROSYSTEMTOUR.com. And it's Joe Stump is the founder of this company. You know, a lot of people probably have heard of him.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, okay, we're gonna ask you more about that, but definitely good insight. So it seemed like, you know, for both of you, one thing I heard that you're looking for that ROI, right? Return on investment, which makes it more once again efficient, right? In a sense of the communication, the relationship, but like it's like giving with a purpose, right? So Alyson, do you mind, you know, and then we're gonna jump back to Roger, diving into like examples or what have you, whatever you want to share about that, you know, because one of the questions over here, for example, by Ray is, what's a good approach to ask for referrals, right? Any type of scripts or general approach or whatever. So both of you can definitely share that.
A good approach is to ask them when they're happiest. So when they've got their check, the seller, or when they've got their key. So, or when they've got their offer accepted. So not when you're in the middle of the, you know, negotiating the request for repairs. That's the last thing they want to do is, but first you need to ask them when they're the happiest and they love you the most. And, you know, wow, did you feel that I did a wonderful job for you? Hey, is there anyone else you know that I can help? You know, I'm sure Roger has better language, but that's how I approach it. I also make sure that we're implementing a birthday system and an anniversary when they bought their home. Those are 2 great times to reach out to them. And if they're married and, you know, wedding anniversaries or anything important, if you stay in touch with them on social media, reach out to them on social media. I stay in touch with a lot of my clients on social media, or it looks like I do. It's my assistant does some of it. On a buyer, on everyone now, we're whenever possible, we're getting a video testimonial as they move out or move in, giving them the keys. Some are a little delayed. You also should be asking for a written review on Zillow or Realtor.com. You should be posting that everywhere. The video reviews, testimonials are even better. So that gives you a better return on investment because, you know, people look at that when they're going to hire you. You know, and it's a lot easier to watch a 2-second or like 15-second video than it is to read, you know, stacks of testimonials. Some of the gifts that I can recommend are like 2 wine glasses from Tiffany's because they come in that blue box that everyone likes to get. It's probably about 50, 60 bucks. A personalized cutting board. That's in their kitchen that they use every day. Cutco. I don't personally use Cutco, but that's a great gift because it's branded. You could do a rekey, so every time they open their door, they think about you. Personalized welcome mat. I don't use that one because it's weird. Everyone knowing your name when they come to your door. Some people help with pay for part of their movers, or a better one is, if you take away a pain point for them, hire like unpackers or an organizer for a couple hours for them, because that's very painful, is packing and unpacking. So if you take that away from them, they'll remember that. Also, we have a routine now on buyers. We're just starting to implement it because I just bought it. Because my last name is Silverman, everything's branded silver. So we just bought a big silver bow. So like when someone gets a big red bow on top of their car, we're doing the silver bow on the door. We do a welcome home sign. We're doing all different kind of welcome home signs. So when they come in the house, they've got it there. Or I'm painting now a stake welcome home sign. Each letter has stakes, and I'm painting it silver. We haven't used that yet because I haven't had a chance to paint it because it's been very hot out. Silver balloons. Flowers when they walk in. I'm not a big fan of giving alcohol. I don't know if there's kids in the house or, someone's got, alcohol issues. So, but, champagne and champagne flutes maybe. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. And it's that experience and that feeling they get when they walk into their home and they've got all that waiting for them. As when you give them the key, that they'll remember, and then you catch that on video and their reaction to that. How amazing is that? That's my dog.
Yeah, he agrees. Yeah, that's awesome. Good share. Roger, what is your system?
So definitely, in terms of asking for a referral, like Alyson said, I think the best time really is if anytime they say thank you is the perfect time. And it's not like, who do you know? Because if they say, hey, thanks for that, and you just say, you know what, you're so welcome. I just want you to know that, I'm here for anybody else that you may know that may need my help. And I always use the word help. Who do you know that needs my help? That's not who do you know that wants to sell. Who needs my help? I'm here to help. It's totally different. And the other thing is, when I represent a buyer, the gift that I like to give, which is one of the gifts, I give a more personal gift, but I have a really nice basket. They're in my office, and it has all the essentials for moving in: paper towels, toilet papers, Clorox wipes, WD-40, Band-Aids. I have a couple of gift cards for local, like maybe Domino's, or, it's because when they're moving, they may want to order pizza, and it's just that basket nicely wrapped, dropped on the kitchen counter. They're blown away every time by that because it's stuff that Neosporin is in there, just stuff like that they're going to need, like, pack of light bulbs, it's all kinds of stuff like that. And again, I didn't think it. By referral only, it's their idea. So all my brilliance, it comes from them. I can't say enough about the amount of stuff. In birthdays, you mentioned birthday, Alyson. So every year you put in the client's birthday, they get the greatest email. And what it does is, I know this is a special day because it's your birthday, but here's also what happened in history. And they have like this obscure thing, like, oh, this guy accomplish this on this day, and everybody loves that.
That's very
and
cool.
I usually get it's like, oh, I didn't know that, thank you. So anyway, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of tokens of appreciation and also value of some kind, right? So it will be more of a fun experience, memory, and what you guys are doing. You do it consistently, right? And value
is the other thing. look, we all give referrals constantly. You know, who do people call for a painter, a plumber, an electrician? They call me. Hopefully they're calling you, because that is value. You give, all that value. So another thing that by referral only has, and I haven't even built it out yet completely because it's phenomenal, is they will brand what they call a 5-star referral website to you. So everyone that you know, and you can do a little video about that person, and it's incredible. And you can do a URL, and it's your personal Yelp. So anytime you want to refer somebody, you can send it to there, and it's phenomenal. It's all part of it.
Very smart. And that's kind of, you know, like a segue to my next question in a few parts, but and not to put you on the spot, right? It's okay if you are, it's okay if you're not. But just to talk about for a second, are you guys good at, or are you considering yourself good at asking for those reviews? And if so, what platforms do you use?
So again, they've been, you know, by referral only taught us at least a year ago about videos. You're totally right, Alyson. Video testimonials. And the way they tell us to do it is they have 5 questions that you pose. You don't just let them ramble. You sit there and you interview them. You say, you know, what were your expectations? What was your experience? What did you like most? You know, what did you like least? And with those 5 questions, they construct the story, because that's really what you don't want to just have somebody say, oh, he's the greatest guy, he's the greatest, blah, blah, because that doesn't mean anything to people. It's like you want them to tell a story that other people can relate to. And those 5 questions are excellent at bringing out that story.
Good point. Yeah, Alyson, you're so same question to you, right? But also, if you can touch a little bit about your system, because you've been very consistent using a lot of those like video messages, right, or posts, etc. So what's your story around that?
So, I mean, I try and get people on video as much as possible. And now people are asking, well, how come my house didn't get on video? So, so we're doing more and more videos. I do ask for a review on Zillow.com. I don't necessarily follow up if they don't do it, because sometimes I do have the video and it's worth more. I had so many on realtor.com before I came over to Keller Williams, and for some reason, they're all gone. It was like 8 years of clients. And so I have trust issues with realtor.com now. I don't really ask for posts on Yelp because I feel like they're Nazis. My good reviews are removed if you don't pay them, and they post other agents' good reviews underneath my profile. So I've really wish I hadn't made that profile at all. But I do stick to the videos. And, you know, if I get someone, sometimes I have a client write something on their Facebook page, like, oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Alyson, for, you know, being my realtor. I'll repost it. So I'm pretty close to 5,000 on Facebook. So I'm starting to delete. I'm moving towards Instagram. YouTube, we haven't really, I mean, we have videos on there. We don't have much of subscribers, but I have 14,000 on LinkedIn. And everything I do is on LinkedIn, and it's starting to get noticed more and more, and I'm starting to get business out of it. And I just got an email or a text message on LinkedIn right before here. I love what you're doing. I follow your posts on LinkedIn all the time. So yeah, again, and your post should be, and I'm not following that rule, 80% personal, like your dog and your cat, my garden, you know, dinners out with friends, and 20% business. But I've basically, it's almost impossible because I've turned myself into a meme. So, and people are actually laughing at the stuff that I post now. So we're working on some crazier videos, just, and they don't even have to be about real estate. I mean, they are, but in a, like, so I did yesterday, it'll be posted shortly. I did a little puppet saying, and I had a mask on saying, it's a great time to learn to be a ventriloquist. And by the way, it's a great time to sell your house. So, and I'm laughing, and you can see me moving my mouth underneath the mask. So, you know, we're doing more and more video, you know, silly video, and you know, and that is bringing in, it's getting attention, and it's bringing in business. So.
And by the way, just a side question, you use your phone, right, to record those selfie videos?
Yeah, I got the most updated iPhone with the 3 cameras. I will be probably getting a camera. I do have lighting. I have a mic that I haven't really used. You know, it's kind of a really expensive, nice mic, Bluetooth mic. I have a lot of the equipment, but a lot of the times I'm just kind of on the fly, and I just kind of make the decision to do a video. And it's hard to carry all that equipment around, especially during the summer. It's pretty hot. So I do have a lot of equipment that I don't use because it's just not that easy. You know, the harder you make it, it's better to just do it and then figure out how to upgrade it later. So yeah.
Agree 100%. Yeah, well said. Roger, Alyson, what is your follow-up system? So you guys shared the mindset behind, you know, asking for the business, right? How you earn it, and then you say, like, I deserve it, so I'm going to ask for it, right? Which I love, because you're making a statement. This is the pure, you know, the professional approach. So, and then you showed some content like token appreciation, what you do, etc. What is your system, if you don't mind sharing, right? Again, if you have one, and how does it look like when it comes to the consistency, right? So you close right now a client, and then you think in your head, I'm just like, you know, sharing like my thought, right? This person, I want this person to be my client for the next 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, whatever. How do you keep track? What do you do? How does it look? How does it work, etc.?
Well, for me, you know, as I know Keller Williams has their database, which I'm learning, but also By Referral Only has a CRM. And once all the information is inputted in there, it automatically sends them emails and the mailers that you choose to send them all through there, plus the birthday email and all of that. Now, that obviously isn't enough. You cannot just send things. You must talk to your clients. You must. So, you know, however often you decide to do that, once a quarter, you know, some people it might be more, you know, if you have like 10 special people that you are friends with that are great referral base, you talk to them more. But one of the things that I do is I have like a 4-part system. I send a text. Hey, I'd love to catch up with you today. What's a good time? Because if you just call somebody, they're never going to answer the phone. People do not answer their cell phones, very rarely. So you send that text, you make that connection, and then they'll, you know, you can make that time. Then you have a connection. You know, and most of it's, you know, forward, you know, family, occupation, vacations, dreams, whatever that is. You know, you have those conversations, and then at the end of the conversation, you know, I may just have a referral seat plant by something like, hey, it's great chatting with you. Hey, then, you know, the next time you're in a conversation with somebody who you think may need my help, please don't keep me a secret. That's it. Then I'll hang up the phone. And of course they'll say, oh, never. You know, I'll say, great, I appreciate that. And I may ask, hey, who do you know that may be interested in, that may need my help? I may ask that question depending on the person and how, when I've asked that. But then after I hang up the phone, I will send a handwritten note. Love catching up with you today. blah, whatever, great hearing about your daughter, or whatever it is that I can place in that note to make it personal. And that's a great contact. That's a full contact according to by referral only. A text, a call, a text, and a handwritten note.
I love it. So it's like a 4-touch.
Mm-hmm.
What period of time?
That's kind of up to you, depending, maybe once a quarter, depending on how close you are with that person, but once a quarter is good.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah. And, guys, think about this, one person, once a quarter, like, not a problem. What if you have in a database, 500 people, right? 1,000 people or more, right? So that's why the systems are crucial for your, consistency, right?
And I think, again, by referral only, they're really much more about drilling down that number of contacts. If you have 150 that you really are in close contact with, that you have relationship with, that's a lot. I mean, it's not just, here or there, but like real relationship that you get referrals from. That's a lot of people.
So 150 divided by 3, because you're doing it every quarter, is 50 a month. So my rule, my rule is 5 meaningful conversations a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about, right. So yeah, sometimes I do them from home. Sometimes I'll be driving around stuck in the car and I'll be like, oh, what about Ravi? I haven't talked to them in a while. Give them a call. Or I'll be driving through a neighborhood that I've sold, and that reminds me about so-and-so. I'll give them a call in the car. And just say, how are you doing? A lot of my clients I'm friends with, so I do happy hours with them or dinners to catch up because I sincerely miss hanging out with them. You get kind of close during escrow. And then other ones, text, email, a lot of them, again, they comment on my social media or I comment on theirs. So it's another way of staying top of mind.
And the thing is when you do call people, the chances are they are going to ask you about real estate. I mean, they just do. And then, you can just, how's business? It's great. And then again, I just want you to know that, no matter how busy I am, I always have time for you or anybody that you think needs my help. Referral seed plan.
Yeah. What else are you using, like, just to simplify it, right? Like I'm a neuro agent, or maybe I don't have that portfolio of, 100 sellers or etc. referrals, whatever it is. Do you use Google Calendar? Do you, you mentioned Roger used maybe that referral by referral only CRM. Alyson does it a different way. Who reminds you? How do you remind yourself, etc.? I want to just like, dumb it down. So if I'm the person who, once again, either a producer or new and I don't really have the systems, what should I do next?
I do use Google Calendar, and Erica has access to it. So if I forget something, she's like, hey, and we do a morning huddle and she's like, okay, don't forget you have this, this, and this today. And, sometimes I'll text her from the car, voice text and say, hey, don't let me forget to call this person on Friday. And she'll remind me. Or she'll put it in the calendar. Super easy. And Siri can do that for you as well, I think. I'm just not an expert with Siri. I have FirePoint and Command, so people are getting touched, on different, things. I think there's automatic text messages that go out. A lot of it's on social media now. And I think that LinkedIn, I don't think people use it as much as they should. Highest paid per capita, you've got the CEOs, all the professionals are on there. So I think it's an underutilized, social media. And, we tried to get a few people over to Instagram from LinkedIn. They don't have Instagram accounts. They don't care about the other social media. These are business people. And that's who I want to work with. So, you know, it's kind of interesting, the differences between the social medias. So, yeah, a lot of it's starting to go towards my LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I want to second that, by the way. I do use LinkedIn, and I see when I post something, the engagement is massive, greater
Oh,
than
yeah.
especially
My video views, yeah, my video views are like 700 versus like 150 on Facebook. Yeah, it's a completely different. I mean, yeah, I have all 3 times more on there, but yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, by the way, and I'm going to share this right now, that we built here. I just sent it on the chat. That's why we built this for you guys, this 52 touch, the video content for you guys to use, because viral, you know, if it's yours or anything that just move, it can even be like an image, right, that just moves, or short video, whatever it is, gets way more attention and engagement than just an image, or of course just a text of some kind, right? Doesn't even matter like how interesting that content will be. It will be missed more like most likely versus if it's just, you know, viral. Yeah, cool. Yeah, LinkedIn is definitely one not to be missed, right? If I had to rank it with the top 3, not by specific order, it's definitely Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Absolutely. Okay. And let's see if you have any other questions that relate to that. Kind of like related, do you, you know, both of you have social media accounts, right, Roger? Alyson, do you, how do you control the flow? Meaning, do you post things randomly, purposefully? Do you lead by one, or do you care to share, or to, you know, to mix like personal stuff with professional? How do you go about that?
Everything's nothing's random. Everything's planned out and intentional. So yeah, I do post personal as well. Nothing political, nothing, you know, I keep it very, don't take a picture with alcohol in your hand, you know, pretend you're the mayor. You know, nothing that's going to start a fight. Well, sometimes you know, here's a stick. Let's start a fight. You know, people fight over anything. I'll make a joke out of it. But yeah, it like I said, the formula is supposed to be 80% personal and 20% business, but it ends up being more business for some reason, because I turn everything into a meme. You know, so you know, like the thing I haven't posted. I mean, yesterday I was in the office running around in a shark costume, and we're making a Sharknado video. So, you know, so that'll be on there. It's, you know, 2-second video, but, you know, it's just, you know,
Yeah,
business, but it is, yeah.
I want to see Roger running around with a shark suit.
Yeah. You know, I don't utilize social media as much as I probably should. I do have a business account and, you know, LinkedIn, and I there's a company called Keeping Current Matters, and they post for me. So it's very valuable real estate related information, and I have them posting not only on LinkedIn, my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and they also post to Google, which I think is pretty interesting, because like if you search me on Google, like those posts come up, and you know, it's not personal or anything, but and I think Alyson's approach is probably way more effective than mine. So, but I would like to do a little bit more personal. But you know, frankly, I'm a little, you know, I'm not that out there as a person. So, you know, I'm much more of a
Introvert.
I wouldn't call myself an introvert, you know, because I do like to be, you know, I get energy from people. People don't suck energy out of me. So I think but I'm not like, I'm much more of a you know, just a intimate relationship type of person. That's sort of what I
Good way to put
closeness.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for dialogue, because it helps people to understand, you know, the sense of how do you go about things, right? It goes back to goes back to, once again, like how purposeful you are in the relationship, right? What you're trying to build, pretty much.
You know, and like I'm in a community of just a wide variety of people, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm, you know, like to post my success, I'm a little uncomfortable with that, you know, because it feels, you know, for me, it just feels a little bit unhumble. So I, you know, like I need to be very careful in my world about how that kind of stuff comes across. And that just could be me personally being sensitive, but that's how I feel about that.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you driving around in a Rolls Royce is different than you saying, I'm so excited for my buyers or sellers.
100%.
You know,
I agree with that.
it's the
And if
difference
you're
between,
helping people, yes.
yeah, I really help someone versus someone pompous and, you know,
Absolutely.
begging
I
to
sold
be,
this, I'm on the $1 Million Club. Like, who
yeah,
cares? And it's like,
there's
be
a
more
way to do it.
interested
Yeah.
than interesting. That's
Yeah.
really the key.
So people like the human stories, you know, we had a little bit of a rough escrow, but they, you know, we made it, I got them through it, you know, during COVID, everything went wrong. You know, that's what people want to hear. They don't want to see you driving, you know, showing your Rolex. I mean, that's just, no one wants to see that, you know, maybe Kim Kardashian does, but you know,
You're like the LA, whatever the show
yeah.
is. $1 million
So,
listing.
you
But
know,
yeah, I agree 100%. That is.
yeah.
That's
You know, people like to see the, you know, the tough times, and that, you know, you know, you got them through it, or the struggles, they, you know, the comeback story, they want that, you know, so, or that it was a smooth escrow and you made it smooth and you took out the pain points for them. But no, you're not going to see me post, unless I'm at a car show, you know, I'm going to say I'm at a car show, not my car. You know, I'm not the flashy kind, and that's not the way I'm going to get referrals. You're going to get hate mail that way. So if you're, what?
Go ahead. Yeah.
If you're helping someone, you're going to, and you project that, you're going to attract more clients that you can help. So.
Yeah. And I love that mindset, and just to kind of like echo what you guys said, in the way I see it and how I use it strategically, is always be grateful and purposefully show your appreciation to the world, if you may, in a way of giving a shout out, right, to the world, to someone, to something, while appreciating the person or the cause, right? Because once again, Roger is saying, you know, who do you know that I can help? I want to help people, right? So if Roger is able to, now he's doing it right now in his own way, right? But I'm talking to everybody in this call right now. If you want to, you know, want to make it, you know, give it a twist, or your style is more of like, I want to, you know, make sure people are going to see or whatever, not a problem, right? Study what Roger shared with you guys about by referrals only, right? He's leading by it, and he's doing great business. Study Alyson. She's very out there on social media. Look her up on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, and see how they communicating and appreciating what they do by, once again, pointing this out. So there's a great way, or a twist, if you may, to be public, but not, you know, selfish about it, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me see. Maybe last point. If you guys are okay to close with that. If you had to do something all over again, or things that you still would love to implement in your post-closing experience to your consumer, what would that be?
Probably start the videos years ago.
Why?
And it's super fun, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun to watch people's reaction to watching it. um, I I would have started the video years ago, and no one likes to see themselves on video. No one does. We're all our worst critics, and there's a whole mindset around it that I just didn't want to be on video. So I trained my team to do it. So I probably should have started a long time ago, like years ago, and probably more started more on YouTube and Instagram years ago. With again with video. So
cool. All right, that's definitely a good tip. To everybody on this call, we can always do more of, or something that we didn't start yet, right? Cool. Thank you. Yeah, Roger, anything that you would adjust or change?
I think, just really for me, it's a mindset of going from, again, searching down transactions to developing relationships, because there's no pressure in developing relationships. And really, that is what we need to do. You can never force somebody. I mean, the one thing about our business, you cannot force anybody to do anything. If they don't like the house, they're not buying it. If they don't want to sell, they're not selling. If it's not the right timing, blah, blah, blah. So you just have to be there. I'm just there for you. It was that like that Seinfeld line. I just want to be there for you. That's really what we're there for. And then when the time is right, there's nobody else they can call, because you're always there. They need painters, whatever. So, that developing relationship and again, just always being so careful through the escrow and not, just understanding people's position, because when they're selling a house, they're stressed out.
Oh yeah.
And you have to be so sensitive to that. And the other thing, like what Alyson said before, is I always try to manage expectations. So I'm always anticipating, this is probably going to go wrong. And when it does, this is the way we're going to deal with it. And you know what? People are going to come here no matter how nice your house is, and they're going to have this report, and it's going to be awful. You're going to feel horrible, and this is how it's going to be. But you know what? Every transaction happens like that. We're going to get through it. So that when it happens, it's already happened to them. They don't even feel the emotions at that point.
Yeah, good statement. Good points. Great mindset as well. I appreciate that. Let me see if any other questions for you guys. Okay, just Mocha just asking about engagement. If you're making video and there's not a lot of engagement, how do you boost it, or how do you get that to increase engagement? Maybe Alyson's question for you.
Hashtags. People just watch my videos. Sometimes I'll boost, run a Facebook ad on a just sold, if we have buyers in that area. But no, I don't boost that much anymore. It's generic. Just like Roger said, if I go to a party and most people know I'm a realtor, and even if they don't, used to start up a conversation with someone and I say, oh, what do you do? And they say, I'm a banker. What do you do? I'm a realtor. Oh, what's the market like? No matter what, the conversation turns to real estate. So, you just generically, people go to my social media at this point. So.
I love your sound effects, by the way.
Oh, my dog. It's my dog scratching.
What is it? Cool. So,
and the thing is too, is like, I'm not super active on Facebook and all of that, but I am active, and the thing is that we all need to understand, no matter what, as soon as somebody gets your name, they Google you. And that's what people do. I do it. The last listing I took, the guy saw the front of my house. He knew where I lived. He saw the front of my house. And he says, well, I figured, you live in a nice house. I mean, it was like, oh, okay. I mean, people.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah. But it's all about, I search information all the time about people. I get phone numbers. So, you know, you want to have a presence, and the reviews are very important. I do have an email that I send out asking for reviews, you know, so yes, it's all very important to have that presence on there.
Well, Alyson, Silverman, Roger Horn, can't thank you enough for your time, your wisdom, mindset, sharing those resources, really good stuff. And, you know, you're successful by design, not by coincidence. And you're very also, both of you, very, very lucky, right? In the sense of the harder you work, the luckier you get. So,
Priya's asking me something about Facebook. My Facebook profile is public. So we don't have to be friends. You can just look at me, look at what I do, follow it. So, cause I'm getting pretty close to, I'm deleting people at this point. And then we also did another thing. We do have the business pages. We have a few business pages, and we have a business Instagram, but I don't use it because I want to focus on, you know, getting more people onto my personal Instagram because everything's public. LinkedIn, everything. So feel free to, and LinkedIn will, you know, LinkedIn and Instagram, there's no limit, so that we can add people on.
that's right.
So.
Awesome. Once again, Alyson, Roger, thank you so much for your time, guys. Really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Keep at it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good job. That was really good insight. Good wisdom. I'm going to do a quick overview for a second, just to go back what we went over so far since the starting pretty much like a month ago was start with the mindset, systems and models of a producer, and around the model around the seller, the 7 steps, if you remember, over the service cycle. And then we had the same meeting we had just in default talk about the lead conversion mindset system. How do you go about in that sense of the the conversion or shift the discussion in the sense of how to make it more of a, you know, like getting the appointment, right? So that's gonna take you to the next part where we had Ray Rodriguez and Alan Rosenberg of the pre-listing, the pre-listing package, the objection handling, what is your value proposition, right? And then taking action towards the actual, you know, get that listing going. We then had Alison Van Wiggy, if you remember, sharing her systems and, you know, her the whole list pretty much about the listing consultation, the toolkit and the mindset around it, and I think even some resources around like what she's using, how she's using it, if it's virtually or in person. We had Julie Newman and Rita Kamberian talk about the service standards, resources, marketing strategies, and their, you know, use of the KW concierge, which, by the way, Roger Horn did a couple of deals with the concierge as well, successfully. And then last week we had David Abbas open the call with talking about offers, negotiations, etc. The mindset, some objection handling, right? How to approach, really simplify the process and the mindset around that. And then we had Tina Burke, who's a producer and also licensed appraisal, and she is she shared the whole concept behind contract to close. Like, you open the escrow, how do you run the transaction, how do you handle the objection, how do you handle the psychology of the seller and the agent on the other side. A lot of great insight. And today, once again, we had the tons of information about the post-close systems from Roger and Alyson. And feel free to jump in, Halley, Stephanie, if you're still on the call. I think Stephanie was had to run out. But when it comes to the, you know, if we had to kind of like, you know, sum everything up, right, and take it beginning to end, I wanna hear some kind of ahas, if you don't mind, from you guys, right? feel free to unmute yourself and just share some insight, or if you have other questions and whatever, now is the time just to kind of to wrap around the whole process and of course, take action. So anybody wanna jump on it? If not, I'm gonna point out, you know me. Just unmute yourself, yeah. Christine, go for it.
I wasn't quite clear on the question.
What are your ahas, Christine, from today?
Oh, my ahas. Oh, thank you. Okay. My ahas, I made a big list, like 10 things that I got from Roger and Alyson. I do the posting and I try to go the 80-20, but unlike Alyson, I don't keep my Facebook public, and I have this is just what I do, because I have, like Roger was saying about people looking up where they live, I have had issues with, guys and stuff like that, and it's scary to me, so I don't like to have so much information public. So I have a Christine Wheeler profile page, and a page for work, for business, real estate, and then I have a Christine Zanat, my maiden name and my name, as my private, and I keep them totally different. And I have, I don't know, 4,000 people on my realtor page, but basically it's mostly vendors and realtors, and that's where I push my stuff for real estate. And my personal page, I don't know, I have about 1,000 or something. That's where I'm, my sphere. I'm creating content for my sphere and stuff. So, but I did get some great ideas. I love the letter. Thank you so much, Roger. I was interesting what Alyson said about Realtor.com. All my reviews have been on, or recommendations have been on Realtor.com. I haven't done anything with Zillow, but I feel like more clients to me are using Zillow if they're not using my app. So that was it. But thank you so much. And I love Meny's 52 Touch. It's fantastic.
Use it however you want. By the way, you don't have to do Facebook ads for this one. Just post once a week. Change the content. If you click on the top, there's a little text hot link. You click on that, it's going to open a whole Google Doc with all the scripts pre-made for you guys with the emojis and everything. So use it.
And like Roger said, with the Keeping Current Matters, I absolutely use that. It's great. I have it pushed to my LinkedIn and to my page. And then because they don't post to profiles, I go in and share it for myself. And so that's what I do. I'm a newbie on Instagram, and I want to learn a little bit more about it, but I haven't so far. So I have 10 posts on there, and I'm a newbie. My son has to show me how to use it. Okay.
Who else, guys? Feel free to share. Now's the time.
Well, I'll share. I loved when Roger said to provide some leading questions for your video testimonials for your clients. A lot of people feel nervous when they're recording themselves, or, you do get your clients that are maybe over enthusiastic and it comes across more personal support than actual business transaction support. So I loved that. I think it would make it much easier for them. And I'm going to implement that in my business as a TL even, right? But thank you. I think that was a great aha today for me.
Do we have those questions anywhere, or is there something like, do we make up our own questions, or is there some content somewhere about the questions?
What questions are you referring to?
The 5 questions that Roger was saying when you're asking for a video of referral, the questions. Is there something that we can guide?
I'm not sure if Roger's on here, but even what were some of the ones that he was saying? I think he's busy. He was saying,
I'm going to look at some of our resources.
He said, what was your favorite part of the transaction? What was your experience like? Those were 2 of them. I don't think he said all 5. I like that, because then they have to think of something that they loved specifically. So that's a nice question.
Thanks,
I
Alyson.
got 4 of them. It was, what were your expectations? Tell me about your experience. What did you like most and what did you like least? I missed the 5th one. And Roger, we can't hear you.
He doesn't know why. I can read lips.
That's okay.
He's typing them in the chat. I'll be the translator.
And by the way, I did share right now Google Drive link. Click on it. Let me know if you open it, if you get full access to a drive and you can see all the files underneath. Give me a thumbs up. Someone can tell me if you can actually see those files. Okay. And if you'll see, that's actually this is the toolkit. This is all the scripts from Winwood Sellers, and there's a lot of different, whatever number of files over there, different objection handling. It's all scripts, right? So hopefully it's going to give you some kind of content, insight, additional value, whatever, because all of you have or should have the Winwood Sellers student material, the PDF that we shared to begin with. So this is just like an additional kind of like material. So hopefully you'll enjoy that one too. Okay. Good stuff. Who else? Anything else? Going once? Monica, what's up, Monica?
Hi, I love what you said about the big bow, the silver and all of that. It's so simple, but it creates such a memory. I got a chalkboard for my clients and I put welcome home, and I try to run in before they come, as we're running in the heat, trying to do 1,000 things, but I try to get there before the clients, open the door, put balloons, and I put the little chalkboard. And a simple little gift, like this particular client was a single mom. Her son never had his own room. So I got him like a Avengers poster, something for his room. It was so simple and they cried, both of them. It was, oh my God, I wanted to cry. And I took a video and I sent it. But little things like that, as you're going through the transaction, if you hear what they like, you mentioned no alcohol, but if you hear like when you're walking through the home, oh my God, I would love my plants here or whatever, get her that plant. Get her that flower. It's something so simple, and just text it to yourself. I have so many text messages to myself. My husband thinks I'm having an affair with me, but yeah.
That's awesome. I think the highlight is going to be when Alyson is going to dye her hair with silver. And that's going to be the silver lining, the punchline. Thanks, Monica, for sharing. And Monica is a producer out of the Coastal office in Long Beach, and she's a machine. So thanks for joining. You're awesome. What else, guys? Anything else? Okay. All right. Well, Halley, do you wanna sum it up? Just say a few things, a few words before we're gonna close the session.
Is this our last session?
That is the last session.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, so I guess I'll summarize kind of the whole thing, right? So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to all the producers who have, shared their experiences and everything that they've truly learned from this industry. We just so greatly appreciate your help and your guidance always. For those of you guys that haven't seen the other sessions, go back and watch the videos. Also, reference that book that we sent along with this. Reference the Win with Sellers, even though we didn't necessarily go over the book. We had a lot of people share their real world experiences with us. There's still a lot of really relevant information in there, right? So go back and go through it, reach out to your team leaders if you have any questions about anything in there. Reach out to your fellow realtors and build those connections. I think a pretty common theme that we can all agree on that most of the speakers had was come from a place of service and offer a unique service to your sellers as yourself. you know, whatever that may be, right? Be very genuine, you know, make sure that you're listening, you know, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So that was also a pretty common theme with everyone, making sure that we're asking the right questions and that we're hearing them. Even today with a lot of the ideas, they're saying, you know, listen when you're walking through the house and they say that they like this, get them this. And it's just, each of these people that have spoken through these series have truly, you know, mastered their craft because they've mastered their own brand and what they offer to their clients. So really work on that and ask yourself, you know, again, go back and watch the old videos, ask yourself, what can you implement that you've heard over this, you know, several week period of time, and what can you change? What can you do? What can you hone and make a better skill than maybe what you've had been doing for years? Right? Do something new. It's really easy to win with sellers when you're coming from that place of giving and education and, you know, providing them that individual service, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Get listings. That's it too.
That's the way to go. Whoever has the listing, or, you know, control listings or get more listings, pretty much control the market too, especially right now. You kidding me?
Yep.
If you attended the team meeting today, you saw the numbers, right? The number of deals going into escrow, and they're all in the rise, more than last year, but the inventory is much lower, right? So if you put it on the market and you price it right, it's gone. It's gone. So definitely want to have that, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for that. You know, once again, 4 sessions, 4 touches, win with sellers, and stay tuned for next month. We have a few powerful stuff taking place. We have the all virtual, in that sense, the Tom Ferry event. I don't have the dates. It's actually, I think, next week. So stay tuned. On a Friday or Saturday, we're going to post September calendar. So that's going to be a virtual broadcast, and the mega camp as well taking place, I think the 15th, 16th, 17th. Amazing experience. Virtually, very different than any other virtual experience you even had before. And you're going to get access to coaches and to various rooms and to vendors and what have you. Super cool experience we're going to have soon. And then also we're going to have some good sessions. We're not going to do the Win with Buyers session in September, just we have too much going on. We're going to push it to October, but we are going to have the Ignite Marathon again towards the end of September. That's going to be a Saturday marathon back to back. All the basics of the industry, practical part as well. So stay tuned. And other than that, we start to do live sessions in the offices. So I need to RSVP because we have limited space, you know, by capacity, but we have that. And thanks again, whoever attended today in the office physically. So thanks everybody. Stay healthy, stay busy, stay focused, and so bye everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.